What's good, Raider Nation, man? It's your boy, Sonny Sports, back with another video. Hey, look, today we're going to talk about 5 free agents that the Las Vegas Raiders could consider or should consider on picking up, before the season starts. So I was looking, doing my research on the Raiders and looking at, their holes in their roster, right? So looking at the holes in their roster, obviously, I feel like the running back room is pretty good. Zamir White, Alexander Madison, and Amir Dublar. I just butchered his name, but we're going to go with it. The wide receiver room is pretty. You can add a couple role players, but for the most part, they got Michael Gallup and Jalen Guyton as their, backups. They picked up some undrafted free agents. Then we have Jacoby Myers, Devontae Adams, and Trey Tucker. And that's 5 pretty good receivers right there. 5 all started on teams before. So, 5 all of them started on teams before. So, they got a pretty good receiver room. We also have a pretty good line. They had hit the line in the draft process. Also, Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer are 2 young, really good tight ends. So offensive wise, they look pretty good. I mean, quarterback is just the most questionable, but I feel pretty confident or pretty good with Aiden O'Connell. And then also Gardner Minshew, you see what he did last year. So, pretty good. Looking at the defensive side, I'll say they could add some more depth to. I mean, obviously Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins is going to be a dynamic duo. But they can also add a little bit more depth to the line. They do have some good players on the line. There's a little more depth, but they, for the most part, Byron Young, Tyrese Wilson still can break out. So you don't really need to do too much to the line. I feel like a linebacker may be needed, with some more linebacker depth. And obviously, the secondary, it's a good secondary with Marcus Epps and Trayvon Moehrig and Zachorian Bennett, Jack Jones, Nate Hobbs. But you can also add depth, there, because the best teams, if one person goes down, say, if one of the linebackers go down or one of the corners go down or, God forbid, Christian Wilkins goes down for a game or something, which it's football, so injuries happen. You have to have, people who can, step up. And if Tyree Wilson can make a breakout season this year, then that could be a scary front 4, front 7 defense in general. But considering all that and also looking at the cap space that Las Vegas has, currently they are 15th right now with 18 million. So that's a good position. It's not, they ain't got the most money, but they ain't all the way at the bottom like a couple teams. So with all that being considered, my top 5 people that they should pick up now, one of them being DJ Humphries, left tackle at Carolina. Now, he's been in the league since 2015, and obviously you can't really look at someone's stats as a left tackle. I mean, they ain't really no stats. They don't count pancakes or nothing like that. But DJ Humphries is a starter. He's a good left tackle. He played 15 games last year. To 2022, played 8. But then he went on a little span from 2019 to 2021 playing almost every game. Played 16 games and started all 16. He has never not started a game that he has played. So that's pretty impressive, I think. In 2019, he played 99% of snaps. 2020, he played 99% of snaps. In 2021, he played 92%. So he is a good, piece. He could probably start. Let me see. It's Colton Miller. Colton Miller's a good left tackle. They have a new rookie. He's good. I feel like if one of these people go down, it's always good to have depth. He could probably possibly fight for a position on there. I don't know. He plays left tackle, so they already have a left tackle, but I'm pretty sure you can move him to right tackle. You can move him around because he's been in the league for almost 10 years in the league, so he has a lot of experience. Pretty sure he played left tackle before or right tackle before. So this will be a good piece to add to addition to, help young Aiden O'Connell, make sure he has offensive linemen and enough time to throw the ball. Another pickup I feel like Raiders should make is Russell Gage. All right, we talked about the receiving core. The receiving core is solid, pretty solid. Russell Gage is another role player who can just come in and just add depth to that receiving core. You never know what the season brings. For the most part, I feel confident in their receivers, but around this time of year, you're not really trying to find starters in free agency. For the most part, all the big names has been gone except Justin Simmons. I really wonder where he's going to go. But for the most part, Russell Gage would be like a depth special teams, type of move, even though he could get a lot of playing time. Now, two people that I feel like could start on the Raiders or get good amount of playing time is number one being Adoree Jackson, right? Adoree Jackson. Now, he has battled, a couple injuries in the past, but when he plays, he's really good. He's a really good player. He's been in the league for 6 years. Last year had 63 tackles. His was one of his better seasons. Had 49 solo, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception. So I've seen Adoree play. Now I'm not going to say he's going to be the lockdown, number one corner on the Raiders because they do have a good DB room. But he can definitely add to that DB room, add depth to it. So these are all depths, fight for a spot, during the early summer camps and, preseason. Definitely, if they was to pick him up, he'll definitely see the field a good amount of time. But that's also some that I'd do if I was the Raiders. And his value is $10 million. Now, is he worth $10 million? I don't know. But I'll tell you, this would be a good pickup for the Raiders for sure. Next we have Shaquille Leonard. He played for the Colts and then signed a 1-year deal with the Eagles. Linebackers, they do have a good linebacker core, the Las Vegas Raiders. But I feel like it could had a little work. I mean, they have the right people. This would be a luxury pick, kind of. You don't have to make this pick, but it would be nice to have them on the team. If that makes sense. But, I mean, I feel like the Raiders, they could use another linebacker. If that's a starter, if that's, depth position, just add some more depth to the team. Has been battling injuries in 2022. Played 60% of the snaps last year. Yeah, but you can't ignore the fact that in 2021, as an inside linebacker, he had 4 picks, 8 forced fumbles, 122 tackles. You can't ignore the fact that his 2018 season had 163 tackles, 2 interceptions, forced fumbles. And then 2019, he had 121 tackles, 5 interceptions. So I think this will be a good pickup for the Raiders. Let me know what you think, Raider Nation. I feel like that y'all do have the linebackers, to get the job done, but this right here would be a luxury pick and definitely will add, that next level to y'all defense because y'all defense is looking pretty good. I think y'all defense is looking pretty good, but the inside linebackers right now, y'all do have good linebackers. So this would be, a luxury pick. And then my last final top 5 people that I should pick up. I was gonna put Justin Simmons in here, but then I was like, y'all don't really need a safety like some of these teams do. But I was gonna put him, but then I didn't. So he's an honorable mention. That would be amazing for any team. I don't care who it is. Any team would love to take Justin Simmons for the right price. But Mecole Hardman, right? He's a cheap asset. He wouldn't cost you that much. For the most part, he plays. Last year he was on the Jets and then went back to the Chiefs. So for 4 years he was on the Chiefs, and then he just Jets picked him up and then they brought him back. I don't know what was going on with that, but he is a speedster. He's definitely basically a Trey Tucker type of player. Y'all do have 5 good receivers, 5 proven receivers. So if you add him to the mix, that's 6 good receivers, 2 good tight ends, 3 good running backs, a pretty good line, and Aiden O'Connell. That's an underrated offense right there, in my opinion. He's not top end best receiver going to be. He's not going to start. I'll tell you that right now. If the Raiders was to get Mecole Hardman, he wouldn't start, but he would see the field for sure. They would have probably the best receiver depth if they picked up Mecole Hardman. Last year he had 124 receiving yards. His best year was 693 in 2021. Only played 52% of the snaps that year, so that's pretty good. He had 2 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns in total. He has 16 career touchdowns. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So these are my top 5 post draft free agencies pickups that the Las Vegas Raiders should make. And let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Sonny Sports, and I'll see y'all in the next video.